Hey guys, this is Cassie Gordon with another video from Cool S Dispatching. Here are 5 things you should know before you start trucking. Number 1, you can do it. As simple as that may sound, and you may say, hey, that has nothing to do with trucking. It absolutely does, because this is entrepreneurship at the end of the day. And you have to understand that in order to be successful in entrepreneurship, you have to believe that you can do it. Because sometimes you're going to experience moments where all you have is that belief to keep you going. So I want to make sure I say that first, that you can do it. Okay? Second, ups and downs. Like I just said, there are ups and downs in trucking. It is not all peaches and cream. So I want to make sure that you are prepared and have accepted that there are ups and downs so that you're not shocked when they happen. You are prepared for them. There are ups and downs in trucking. Things like rates lowering. You may have mechanical issues. There may be economic issue. Oh gosh, I really messed that up. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. There's things that can happen in-house that cause things to kind of fluctuate. So you want to understand and accept that things do happen and that there are ups and downs in this trucking industry. But again, going back to number 1, you can do it and you will get through it. You just have to prepare yourself for those ups and downs, which brings me to number 3. This is an investment, and you should always consider trucking an investment. And financial reserves are super important. Having that financial cushion is super important. When you're going into trucking, if you are not in a financial place where you're able to have things set aside for your foundation, your financial foundation, you may want to step back until you're in a financial position to do this. What I mean by that is, in trucking, when you're first starting out, having just enough for your truck is not enough. Having just the right amount of money to purchase your truck is not enough. There's going to be other things, which I will talk about that in another video, but there's other things, there's other financial responsibility that you would have once you purchase this truck. Things like, if you're not driving your truck, you may have to have enough money put aside to pay your drivers or driver. Things like your insurance. You want to have at least 1 to 3, not even 1, really more than 1. I'm sorry. You really need to have at least 3 to 4, 5 months of insurance put aside. And trucking insurance is not cheap. You may already know that by now if you've already been doing your research. Other things for your vehicle, if you purchased a brand new vehicle, let's just say you purchased a used vehicle, there may be some things that you may need to do with that truck before getting it on the road. So these are just little things that you need to be prepared for. So having a financial reserve is super important. Also, that downtime. Like I said, there's ups and downs in this industry. You may get on the road, you may do okay, but something happens and your truck has to sit for, let's just say, a month or 2. Insurance and bills are still coming. So you want to have financial reserve ready to go towards those things. So having a great financial foundation is super important, and having that financial strategy is super important. There is a thing in trucking where it can be very deceitful. You can feel like you have more money than what you actually have in trucking. You did a couple loads, you've been doing pretty good, and then boom, something happens major with your truck, or something happens in-house where you have to dish out a lot of money. That's when that financial reserve comes into play. Lord forbid anything like that happens, but if it does, you want to be prepared. 4, a lot of owner-operators really try to skip past this and even try to do it themselves, but it is very important that you have a safety manager, someone that is certified to be and do your safety, someone that is certified to do your safety. I'm sure you can do it yourself, but if you're not certified, if you don't know what to look for, if you don't know how to read your ELDs, if you don't know what needs to be placed into your ELD, you're going to have some issues. So you want to have someone that is certified, that is knowledgeable, on how things should run with your ELD and should run with your trucks and your drivers. Having someone that is in-house safety is super important. This is something that you want to have before you get your trucks on the road. Having a safety guy is almost just as important as having all of the other major things like your authority, like your insurance. Having that safety guy is super duper important. 5, this is the last one, and I thought that it was very important to put this here because not a lot of people talk about this enough on YouTube. From what I've seen, is drivers. The challenge of finding a good driver, a team driver, someone that understands the responsibility that they carry on the road. A lot of owner-operators experience drivers who get super comfortable once they're paid, then they do not want to come to work the next week. And your truck does not make money if it's not on the road. So if you have a driver that you are paying, you may pay him salary, you may pay him per load. And I'm going to get into the different ways you can pay drivers and different ways that are out there that different people use to pay their drivers. But you pay your driver and your driver says, hey, I can't work today, or hey, I can't work the day after, or I need a week off. So your truck now has no driver for a week. You're still paying them, but then you're not able to get paid. So because your truck is sitting. So there's things like having a driver that is super important. Before you even get on the road, you want to already have had drivers vetted. You want to have already have had things set up for your company that you will have a driver, someone that is responsible, that someone that is in compliance, and someone that is teamwork oriented. You want someone that is driving for the good of the company, for the good of themselves and the good of the company. That is super important. Someone that values your company just as much as you do. So finding a driver, a good driver, is super important. And that is something that you should know before you start trucking. I'm going to go over those 5 things. 1, you can do it. You can absolutely do this. Do not listen to things that you hear. You have to experience it for yourself and know what information to apply to you and what information to not apply to you. 2, there are ups and downs. Prepare for that. Prepare yourself mentally for the ups and downs. They come and they go, but that is why we have number 3, that financial reserve, to get us through that, to push us through that. 4, get yourself a safety. Make sure your company has a safety. That's something that you should know you should have before getting on that road. You definitely want to have someone in your team that does your safety. 5, find yourself a good driver. It is important that you should know you need a good driver, someone that is teamwork oriented, responsible, and in compliance. That is 5 things you should know before you start trucking. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope you like the content. Like, comment, subscribe, share if this was helpful for you. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you on the road.